What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dimes Reacts back with another video. Today we're gonna be reacting to 10 biggest secrets WWE failed to hide. Shout out to WrestleMania for this video. One of the best WWE channels out there. But let's get into the video.
We have the IFB in our ears, and from Gorilla, they're constantly yelling, "Is Sting okay? Is Sting okay?"
The WWE is traditionally really good at pulling the wool over fans' eyes and not allowing them to find out how certain things are done. However, as WWE has now put on
as a kid, the blatant one, that was one that was pretty good that they hide. Like, I never noticed that growing up. I mean, as a kid, of course, most things wrestling related is real to you. But yeah, that was one that was probably, but when I did start finding out wrestling secrets, that was probably one of the first things that I found out.
A successful wrestling product for multiple decades that has included over 25 years of their flagship show Monday Night Raw, it was only natural that they would slip up sometime, and some of their biggest secrets.
They really banned the leg slaps. That's crazy. Like, I don't know why they did that, because like, to me, it's like, that's one of the most iconic parts of wrestling, and y'all decided to ban it. Wrestling not gonna be wrestling soon. Every move is gonna be done banned, that we're gonna be like, what is this product now?
Secrets would be exposed in plain sight.
And there's striking.
But which ones were they? Well, join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 secrets WWE failed to hide. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
This way. Neither would I, but under the circumstances, maybe
I never noticed that, actually. I never paid
Number
attention
10,
to that.
Hold
on.
List.
I never paid attention to this.
Neither would I, but under the circumstances,
I always just knew they lugged up. I always thought they just lugged up and got up in sync at the right time. I never knew that they, but that make more sense. That makes sense. I just never paid that much attention, I guess.
The best thing.
Number 10, Royal Rumble carts. The Royal Rumble in 2017 broke the format of having a Royal Rumble pay-per-view in a traditional arena. WWE opted to host the iconic pay-per-view inside a huge dome, just like they did for WrestleMania 17. WWE realized that the Rumble involves 30 wrestlers running down to the ring in dramatic fashion, so if they were to have a match take place in a huge arena, this would mean it would take a long time for certain wrestlers to get to the ring.
By the time you get to the ring.
WWE had a solution. They would show the beginning of certain entrances for the likes of The Big Show, Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, but then they would cut to the in-ring action and then cut back to the wrestler as they were about to enter the ring. No, those wrestlers weren't huffing and puffing, as it was revealed that they used carts to transport certain wrestlers to the ring. Thanks to the images circulated via social media during the show, fans...
I mean, that is something that they hide. I mean, it wasn't hidden from the fans that was in the arena, but it was something that was hidden from the people that watched it on TV or on the network.
Were able to see just how certain wrestlers got to the ring so quickly, and it was no doubt a creative yet humorous way for the WWE to deal with the issue at hand. We're just wondering why they didn't think of
Big E say?
Creative yet humorous way for
Almost the certain getting the golf cart Royal Rumble entrance was the company not so subtle way of telling me I'm fat. That's crazy.
WWE to deal with the issue at hand. We're just wondering why they didn't think of that in '97. Number 9, Sincara's Trampoline.
Yeah, I seen this one before.
Exactly what. Oh, here he is live. Oh my goodness.
When Sincara would debut on television in 2011, one of the few highlights of his run was his entrance. He would run down to the ring and leap over the ropes in an entrance which always popped the crowd. However, it wasn't soon after his debut on TV that fans realized that Sincara was actually using a trampoline to jump over the ropes. This was seen thanks to the images shared by fans in attendance at the show, and it was even accidentally shown on TV a number of occasions. As a result of this, WWE decided to tweak his entrance.
Who cares? Like, so what if it's a trampoline? It's a cool entrance nonetheless. Why they didn't just keep it up? They should have let that one keep going. It was a cool entrance.
In its place was a basic entrance which involved him running to the ring and doing a standard flip from the middle rope. Still incredibly impressive.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. Whatever.
Under the ring. Have you ever wondered how The Undertaker stays under the ring for so long? Or
this
have
was
you ever
one that
wondered
I'm
how he
actually
knows when to come
wondering
out and what he even does under there for so long?
Exactly.
Well, over the years, WWE have exposed the secret of how superstars function under the ring. It turns out there's a monitor and headset under the ring which allows wrestlers to watch the show as well as communicate with WWE officials such as Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn backstage. Fans have learned this over the years thanks to spotting monitors under the ring during a show where the lights go out and then a wrestler such as The Undertaker or Bray Wyatt appear shortly after. Once you spot a monitor,
remember that crazy time period where Undertaker used to always be under the ring and pop back up. Lights go out, he is in the ring. Lights go out, he's gone. Lights come out, lights go back out, lights come back on. Like it, I remember that sequence of time period. As a kid, I've never been to a wrestling show, but I'm pretty sure if I went to one of those nights, I'd be kind of spooked out. Because Undertaker did spook me out for a little while. But Undertaker eventually became one of my all-time favorite wrestlers once I wasn't so spooked out by him.
After a ring, you can usually be guaranteed that someone is making a surprise appearance during that same show.
I never knew.
Oh.
I shockingly never knew about this one, but this one actually makes sense if you think about it.
The same goes for Hornswoggle. Number 7, fake crowd noise. Between the years
so
of 19...
think when...
Same goes for Hornswoggle.
Y'all really think... Okay, so this may be actually his monitor. Okay.
Number 7, fake crowd noise.
Okay, this is one we actually knew about. This is one that we all should have known about. Like,
in the years of 1999 and 2016, SmackDown was actually taped every Tuesday.
Yep.
This meant that WWE could edit the show in any way they saw fit, and this extended to the crowd's reaction. They would heavily edit the shows with piped in crowd noise so that the baby faces...
I did not like that though, because if the crowd is... I mean, I feel like when you try to... Like, they mainly used to do this to try to hide the John Cena boos. So I feel like I didn't like this because it didn't show that the authentic the crowd really was. If they're gonna hide certain chants or pipe up certain chants, it's more so to push an agenda than to be authentic. I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but WWE, I feel like we reached a point with social media and being so popular that we got to get away from the baby face versus heel. Let them have just their own personal character and let the crowd decide whether they like them or not. I mean, give them heel tendencies and face tendencies, but we got to do away with the whole face versus heel thing. It's 2021.
WrestleMania!
Whilst the heels would be booed. Well, the reason we know this is by first-hand accounts of people in attendance who state that the reaction to certain wrestlers on television,
I'm just the guy,
was actually completely different than it was in attendance.
I'm just the guy.
Additionally, WWE likes to heavily edit the crowd response when they've taped episodes of Raw or SmackDown in the UK.
I dig that energy, Manchester. Bring that, please.
Hey, ask for it.
The UK crowd is one of the more vocal crowds with chants and reactions that Vince McMahon may not want to have broadcast. As a result, they will edit these out and replace it with the fake crowd noise, normally known as the hairdryer pop.
Obnoxious jerk.
Look at the crowd like they...
Number 6, referee help. The role of a referee in a WWE match has been exposed thanks in part to them making it obvious that the role of the referee is simply more than counting the 1, 2, 3 or a DQ.
1, 2, 3, 4. You can't count like that.
Yeah, the ref is pretty
so
important.
So thanks to kayfabe breaking interviews on podcasts and the incident known as the Montreal Screwjob, fans know the role of the referee is much more complex than one would initially think. For instance, the referee will use a special hand sign to check if the wrestlers are safe. He will go up on the wrestler on the ground and place his fingers in the wrestler's palm. If the wrestler squeezes the referee's hand, it means that they are fine and able to continue. You can see this in every single match on WWE programming. For instance, go rewatch the classic TLC match between Edge and John Cena from Unforgiven 2006.
People talk about wrestling being fake, but it's certain moves you cannot fake. So like, they got to make sure they okay after. That makes sense, actually. Like something like that, you can't fake that.
The referee
because you could really, if that move is done wrong, you can really hurt yourself.
Particular encounter. But another way a referee can help is to assist by helping a wrestler execute spots. For instance, at the Evolution pay-per-view, Becky Lynch was struggling to reach a chair which is needed for a spot which involved her escaping the figure eight. The referee nonchalantly kicked the chair towards Becky in order to help her execute the spot. Instances like this are rather common in WWE matches, especially those incorporating weapons and gimmicks. Number 5, not wrestling during commercials.
I mean,
We're back live on Friday Night SmackDown on Fox.
Traditionally, when a match goes to a commercial break, the wrestlers will carry on wrestling.
because it'll be
If
awkward.
not, it would be incredibly awkward to the live audience if the wrestlers suddenly
they just
stopped what they
said
were doing. However, in 2020, when they relocated to the Performance Center, they had no fans whatsoever in
so what do they
attendance,
usually do? What do they usually do when, like I said, I've never been to a show, like when they go to commercial, like during a wrestler's entrance, do they just let the music keep playing until the second wrestler come out? Like, what usually go on in that situation?
Wrestlers didn't have to wrestle during the commercial breaks. Thanks to leaked footage in a match between Sasha Banks and Bayley teaming up against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, you could see the women stop wrestling.
I mean, it makes
whilst
sense.
WWE
Like,
went to
you're
a
not gonna wear
commercial
yourself.
break. You could hear the
I mean, there's no fans, so you're not gonna wear yourself out. Like, as a wrestler, I feel like with there being no fans, I'm not gonna wear myself out during a commercial break. Just if it's just us that's gonna see what we doing. I mean, but you gotta know, like, you gotta be on cue with the camera people on when, okay, we about to get back on now. So yeah, that you gotta always stay on that. So yeah.
Been talking about the match and just casually
I mean,
hanging
you
out
need a
whilst they
breather
waited
anyway.
to get their cue that they were coming back from the commercial
they
break.
did get a cue,
Number
okay.
4, promo notes.
Promo
Now,
notes,
let's
yeah.
be fair, it's no secret that WWE heavily scripts the majority of their promos. However, over the years, they've made this secret incredibly obvious to their audience on a number of occasions. For instance, The Rock at one stage had to write his promos on his wrist in order to remember it.
And
This
John
was
Cena
later
pointed
called
that out.
by John
That's crazy.
Cena.
Just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist.
The Rock looking like,
Another
come on,
example is
man.
when Roman
Really?
Reigns forgot his scripted promo, and this led to Cena calling him out for forgetting his lines.
Cena was savage for this too. I still hadn't
It's
got
called
a
a
chance to
promo
react to
show.
that
You
when
want
John
to be the
Cena,
big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead.
With John Cena. I found the video actually.
The most recent incident of WWE
like, somebody
exposing the
put
fact
one
that their
together,
promos
but I
are
hadn't seen
scripted
it
was when
yet.
Tucker walked into a backstage segment still carrying the promo script that he was about to deliver before he awkwardly threw it away while still in the shot. The same also applied to when Paul Heyman was on Talking Smack.
Just a note
Wait,
from
what did
Roman
it say?
Reigns.
Talking Smack.
I didn't identify each consequence if Roman Reigns lose per Vince. I mean, it's backwards, so I can't see that anyway.
Just a note from Roman Reigns.
Oh.
He doesn't like your questions very much.
Number 3, WWE hiding poor attendance.
Yeah, we knew this one because I remember every week of Raw, Michael Cole or whoever was announcing it would always say, "Raw sold out tonight. Raw sold out tonight. Raw, or this pay-per-view broke this record." Man, I hate that they wasn't authentic. I mean, but it sounds bad to say.
How many
I mean,
times
but
have you heard Michael
every live
claim
show,
that Raw
like-
is sold out tonight?
Yeah,
Well, in
plenty of
reality,
times.
this isn't always true.
we
WWE
knew that.
usually says this to make their shows seem bigger and make it must-see television. However, thanks to social media, actual attendances can usually be seen thanks to fans uploading pictures
New York,
of the crowd. Now, this was a
New York, Philly, and Chicago has some hardcore
trend around
fans.
2017 and 18 of WWE
Not
being unable
quite.
to sell a lot of tickets for Raw and SmackDown. This resulted in WWE leaving the hard camera side completely empty. On commentary, WWE would still pretend that they had a packed house when this couldn't have been
That ain't
further
cool.
from the
I
truth.
don't know why would they
The
do
West
that.
attendants had to go down at Stomping Grounds, where they literally topped half of the arena. Number 2, the Money in the Bank crash pad. The 2020 Money in the Bank pay-per-view took place at WWE HQ upon Titan Towers, and the event was well received by fans who praised their efforts to still make the Money in the Bank pay-per-view feel special despite what was going on in the outside world. One of the more notable spots in the match involved Baron Corbin throwing off Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black off the roof of WWE's HQ. However, as WWE used crane shots to show the HQ from above, Fans could clearly see that there was a crash pad laid out where the spot was going to take place.
I mean, obviously,
he's
not throwing
the
them.
illusion and drama of the act itself.
Exactly.
But, okay, obviously we didn't think that they were thrown off the roof legitimately, but that was a badly timed camera shot. And number 1, blood capsules.
Blood capsules.
It was a hard pill to swallow when the company changed direction and went in a PG direction.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little rough around the edges.
Ever since
I feel like
WWE
with the PG
transitioned
era,
into a PG product,
a lot of them really can't be themselves. If we being real, like a lot of them, I feel like even I came in around ending of Ruthless Aggression era, I believe, going into the PG era. But I feel like, especially going back watching old stuff, going PG really killed the product for a lot of people. And I understand
2008,
why.
they have a strict ban on blood and blading. However, there have been a few exceptions to this.
This Brock.
Your opponent, look at this. Lesnar looking to open up Orton with those elbows. This is just pure malice.
For instance, Brock Lesnar made Randy
I'm
Orton bleed at
disappointed.
SummerSlam
I was hoping that match was
2016
fine,
using a
really
stiff
good.
elbow to the head in a planned spot. Another instance was when Triple H and Roman Reigns had a dramatic brawl on Raw to build to their main event at WrestleMania 32. In the segment, Triple H would take the fight to Reigns with punches and kicks and would even slam his head off the announce table.
Triple H banging Reigns. Face first, face first, face first in the game.
But when Reigns retaliated, he was covered in blood, making it the first time that blood had been featured on Raw in almost a decade. However, upon closer inspection, it was revealed that Raw announcer Byron Saxton passed Reigns a blood capsule, which allowed Reigns to create an illusion of a crimson mask for the segment.
Oh, that makes
but there you have
okay.
it, folks. 10 secrets
Let's be real. A lot of these, like the piped in noises, the exaggeration of how many fans was there, stuff like that, we already knew. But I didn't. And the Sincara launch pad, one that I really didn't, I never paid attention to, but actually made sense was when Undertaker taps Kane to let him know, like, okay, this is our cue to get up. The refs we knew. But yeah, most of these we actually knew. But yeah, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and go subscribe to WrestleMania as well. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, and I'm out. Peace.